Pregame.com.
Missouri getting 21.5 at number 1 ranked Oklahoma. This is my pick. I think Oklahoma's given a little too many points here. I like Missouri plus 21.5. I really like what sophomore quarterback James Franklin's done stepping in for Gabbert. I thought coming into this season, you were going to get a lot of value on this Missouri team because people are going to overreact to losing their starting quarterback. And not just the starting quarterback, but a stud starting quarterback. But since this team's gone to that spread offense back in 2005, Gary Pinkel's done a great job with his quarterbacks and balancing that offense. I think they have enough to keep this close, and more importantly, this is a huge letdown spot for Oklahoma coming in off a big game against Florida State. Now, I know this is Big 12, so they want to win a conference game, but they had that game against Florida State circled on their calendar. I think there was nothing bigger for them going against Florida State. Missouri's not even ranked really right now. They were 21st when the season started. They've been knocked out of it more or less now that they're 2-1 after that loss at Arizona State in overtime. So I don't think Oklahoma is really that nervous to play Missouri. But I think Missouri has a lot of revenge in mind, not because last year they beat them, so you would think Oklahoma has the revenge, but because Oklahoma's the reason this team has not played in a BCS Bowl. 2 years in a row, they met in the Big 12 championship. 2 years in a row, Oklahoma sent them home. So I think they get another shot to go in and ruin Oklahoma's party. Not saying they're going to win outright, stoop 72-2 at home at Oklahoma, but I think this team doesn't quit. You give me a dog that's going to give me 60 minutes of football, you add 3 touchdowns to that, I'll take it.
It's interesting that you think that last week's game was a bigger game. It may have been a bigger game in the public's eye. I don't think it was a bigger game in Oklahoma's eye. If you remember last year, Oklahoma was a top 3 team. They got knocked off against Missouri.
And number 1 in the BCS at the time.
So this is a game right now. Those kids remember that.
Sure.
They've got friends that go to Missouri and play on that Missouri team.
Sure.
I don't think they're going to overlook them at this point. Interesting thought I had. I tend to agree with you on Missouri here, although I have Oklahoma minus 13 from the Golden Nugget, so maybe I'll go for a middle. But the situation is, you take a look at Missouri as a double-digit dog. The last 6 years, they've been a double-digit dog 5 times. In those situations, they've lost by 34, 41, 10, 29, and 31. The only cover is when they lost by 10, getting 12. Just so happens against Oklahoma.
So they get blown out when they're expected to get blown out.
Well, when they have to step up, it's been rough for them stepping up. That's my only concern in this game.
Okay, I agree. It's a tough spot going up against Oklahoma. But I think Mizzou's had a lot of time to prepare. I think that's what the key is here. Oklahoma had to prepare for Florida State. I mean, that's a big game. I understand they want revenge with Missouri. It's the Big 12 conference game. But you have to prepare to play Florida State when they were ranked right there behind you, more or less. Missouri, on the flip side, they had nobody. They played, Northern Illinois, more or less, last week? So, I mean, here's a team that has been preparing for them for a while. I mean, their last game was September 9th when they lost at Arizona State. So here they are 2 weeks plus to get ready for Oklahoma. Give me 3 touchdowns. I'm taking the dog.
All right, I can't disagree with you at this line. This seems to be an inflated line, but you take a look at Oklahoma's record lately at home. They're just blowing everybody out. And believe me, I'm not a big Oklahoma fan. I thought they were overrated at the beginning of the year. I still think they're a little bit overrated. It's a little bit of a high number. I have to agree with you on that.
I agree. I think Alabama's the number 1 team in the country. I think the value is with Missouri here. I'm going to take Missouri plus 21.5. Make sure you get the best number. It matters when there's 21s out there. That's my pick for this week. Grab the points with Mizzou.